Hey, happy Friday, everybody. It is time for our weekly hangout that we do here for anybody that's wanting to grow in personal development or just learn some marketing strategies that we've all begun to implement in our own businesses in our own different ways. And what we've been going over lately is social media strategies for marketing. And we've been going over a lot of the free stuff. So this is just very useful. It's become useful to all of us here on the panel. We're excited to have you here. Again, my name is Aaron Martinez. I'm coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'll go ahead and start introducing the rest of the panel here. So let's head over to California and take it away, Patricia.
Hi, and I'm not muted this time. Hopefully no background noises, dogs barking, doorbells ringing, and telephone ringing, right? But yes, my name is Patricia Henry, and I'm from sunny California, here on the panel, and of my wonderful business partners. Now you understand that we're going to be talking about social media. We have been talking about social media for a long time, and actually some of us met through social media and some of us met through a live company event. But social media is great for getting together, for socializing, but we use it for business. So we're going to go over a few strategies here.
Hey guys, my name's Neil. I am from the UK and it's currently 11 p.m. my time, but always have to be here on a Friday with you guys. And yeah, we're just going to be discussing social media today. And since Facebook pretty much came onto the scene, I think it was back in 2003, 2004, it seems that everybody's bucking the trend of social media. It's just pretty much taking everybody by storm. And everywhere you go, nobody. I live in the UK, so like football is our main thing over here. So if you go to football matches, or even when you catch the local transport, everywhere is basically saying like us on Facebook or wherever it is, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Like I say, it's taking it all by storm. But not many people use it to market their business, or some people do use it to market their business, but they don't have as much of an effect as other people. And we're going to be covering why that might actually be, and maybe there's a couple of things in here that might actually hopefully open your eyes and give you a little bit of a breakthrough to think, you know what, I'm not actually doing that, or I didn't actually do that, I'm not doing it properly. Hopefully open your eyes a little bit and just give you hopefully an eye opener to a few strategies and a few ideas of maybe what you could do a little bit better, or maybe a bit more frequent, or something else to do to try and hopefully enhance your marketing in marketing knowledge and hopefully expand your reach. So I'm just going to send that one back over. I'm going to send that over to you, Andre.
Yes, good evening. This is Andre down here in Jacksonville, Florida. And as my fellow members of the panel just mentioned, we're going to be covering how to be a little bit more efficient in social media. And the main thing too, using the different platforms too, and also, and I'll share the word here later on too. But go see also income disclosure below, and maybe our rant and raging disclosure. No, I'm just kidding. Because there's just some things that some people do that just really that you should not be doing social media, and there are ways that we've been learning from our getting 6- and 7-figure earners. Again, see our income disclosure below, because obviously results not typical, but they do vary, and they are very possible. So we're going to just be suggesting ways to ensuring some ways to that are just getting the results that people are looking for using different platforms. So I'm stoked too as far as what we're going to be sharing here this evening. And kind of going on to what Neil just mentioned as far as football matches here in America, this especially for this weekend, and you'll probably see it seduced, again, social media. You have the NFL Combine. So I can go on and on about that because I've been playing semi-pro football, American football for those overseas, for the last few years. So I can go on and on about that, but I don't want to. We're going to be talking about some other things too as far as just being more effective building your business online and offline. So with that being said, let me go take it right back to Aaron.
All right, so the topic of today's discussion is going to be how to be more efficient with social media. And so there's a lot of things that you can be doing to not only avoid wasting too much time on social media, not getting stuff done that you want to do for your business, but also how to speed up the process of getting done what you need to get done. And so, like I said, like there's the first thing we want to do is not waste time on social media. I mean, that's what the majority of people do. I do it. Everybody does it, right? We all get on there. We see something that looks cool, or we see some funny video or picture or something, or you see a political discussion. You know, there's a lot of that going on right now, and just all kinds of stuff we get distracted with when what we may have come to do on social media in the first place is to do some marketing. So there's just different things that you need to kind of avoid, and some things that you might want to do to speed up the process. And one of those things that you want to avoid is, you know, don't get on there to necessarily engage. Like if you're going to block out some time to do something, get that done first, and then go in and start engaging with the people that are likely or that you want to engage back with you. Don't get caught up in whatever's going on, you know, with all the discussions and everything going on that are just going to be distracting. Like if you're targeting a certain audience, go and find some of those people on social media, engage with them, so that they'll then come back and engage with you, and they'll start seeing your content. But you want to be putting stuff out there so that people see it, first of all, and you want to keep it positive. You want to keep it to limited to stuff that's going to be productive for your business efforts. I mean, you want to post some personal stuff too, just so that people know that you're a real person and you've got a life and everything. But you also want to just avoid getting wrapped up in negative things and drama and controversial type of things, unless it's going to help you in some way. But a lot of times just continuing on discussions and getting in arguments with people and all that just it's not going to do anything for you, unless you already have a huge audience that happens to agree with you or something. I don't know. But so with YouTube and everything, you want to keep your videos to where you get their attention right away, like within the first 9 seconds, and you want to hook people. Otherwise, they're just going to go away. And you don't want your videos to be these long, drawn-out videos where people are just going to be like, "Oh, it's 30 minutes long. I don't have time for that." But if it's something that's short, concise, and to the point, and you have a powerful message to deliver and some sort of a hook to get people engaged, then you can then send them on to things like your blog or another social media platform to connect with you, because people want to see you everywhere, or you want people to see you everywhere, right? And so think about all the advertising that all these different places do. Even though they're really well known, things like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, they still put stuff in front of their audience all the time. They don't stop their marketing, even though everybody knows who they all are. They don't stop, because it's a matter of getting yourself in front of people so many times that when they see you again, they know to trust you. They know that you're the real deal, that you're not just somebody that's going to post one time and then, you know, not show up for another, you know, month or many months or whatever. You're going to be somebody that's consistently getting in front of them in different ways all the time. So you see TV advertisements, you see radio advertisements, you see banners on the internet, you see billboards, you see newspaper ads, magazine ads, all these different sources of advertisement for a particular business. And that's essentially what we're doing online, only we're on like a much bigger freeway or highway. You know, we're putting out billboards in front of everybody wherever we want, and we're driving traffic past those billboards. You think that if you see a billboard and you drive, you're going the same route every day, and you see the same billboard every day, that, hey, sometime in the future, if you ever have a need for some sort of a service, right? Like maybe you see a service for getting your car repaired or something, and you see that billboard every day, and your car is never broken, right? But then all of a sudden one day it is, and you're like, you know what? I remember that billboard I've been seeing all the time in the past of a place that does pretty good priced auto repairs, right? And so that's the same thing we want to try and do with our marketing, is to get ourselves in front of our audience as much as possible, even though they may not have an immediate need for what we have. We're still getting ourselves in front of them, and what we want to do is, with that initial introduction, we want to get out there who we are, what we're all about, and just be able to get people to engage with us right off the bat, get them used to seeing content from us, not pitching them, not sending them to all these different things that are just sales pitches and whatnot, but we want to give them valuable things that they can utilize, maybe now, maybe down the road. But if we just keep giving them value, they'll be like, okay, his articles are always interesting, his emails are good, the blogs that this person writes are really good, or they do good videos, or they post interesting things on Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever. It's whatever. When it does come time for them to buy something, they're going to be like, hey, I know the perfect person for that. And not only are they going to come knocking at your door, but they're gonna tell other people about you too, and you'll get referrals that way. So it's something like, it's like in the 90-some% that likelihood that people are not going to buy from you on the first time they ever see you. They don't know you yet, and so they say that it takes an average of like 7 exposures for somebody to actually come buy from you eventually. And it's more, sometimes it's less. Sometimes it may be a year before somebody will even think to buy from you. But you got to just be patient and build that rapport with people, and be efficient with what you're doing on social media. And by being efficient, I'm talking about, hey, if you're going to shoot a video, put it on YouTube, but also get that YouTube embed code, put it on your blog, and maybe do a tweet or post something on Instagram that also leads to your YouTube video or your blog, whatever is going to funnel people in to whatever your hub is going to be in. And for us, that hub is our blog, because it's where we can kind of combine all our social media efforts into one hub, one place where people can then find the most value. They can search it. They can see video content, audio, visual, written word, just all kinds of things. So that's kind of what we're talking about in a nutshell. But I'm gonna pass it on to whoever wants to speak next about what's been working for them. And as we go here, this is kind of off the cuff here for what we're doing today, but we just want to address all these different things as they come up. So I'll pass it on to whoever.
Man, oh my goodness, Aaron, you man, you laid out so much, man. It's almost like, oh man, what do I mention? Man, and I hope you also too, for those watching, you were also able to pay attention to what he was saying, because as far as giving out the examples of other companies, major companies, when they're doing their advertising, like he just mentioned, where it could be, billboards, those funny commercials. Like, perfect example here in the States, we just got done with what a couple weeks ago, Super Bowl. So as far as doing videos, something that just breaks state.
Andre, I'm sorry. I just want to tell you something. For those people that are watching, I know there are a few people who are watching. The other one kind of like it zoned out. They were going to have to refresh the screen if they can even watch us at all. So hopefully they know to do that.
Yeah, just refresh the screen.
Yeah, if they.
But anyway, exactly right there what we just mentioned as far as breaking state. So now you really be able to pay attention to what we have to share as well. But another thing too, what Aaron brought up too, as far as always showing up, be consistent with it. As far as doing that, and whichever platform you choose, whichever way you choose to do your marketing. Again, Facebook marketing, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, videos. The list goes on too. Be consistent with it. Pretty much having yourself a plan, because you gotta have a plan as far as where you're going in your marketing. You can't just pretty much just be shooting all over the place and just hoping to aim somewhere, because some people like to do different ways as far as marketing. But you got to be, if once you find out really one way of marketing, you realize, okay, this is what I want to stick with. Even though you want to learn something different, you go back to that one particular way. And this is something that I learned at an event, and the others too here, they understand. We heard this from an event too, from again, Seven Figure Earner. See your income disclosure below, as well as far as even though you learn different strategies along the way, you go back to that one strategy that's been helping you roll, which is being consistent with it too. And another thing too, again, is something else that Aaron brought up as well as your content, something as far as bringing value. Also, you're a problem solver. That's the main thing in the marketplace. Find out exactly what it is to your targeting, your niche, and then just go out there and solve a problem. Maybe it might be something as far as, for example, if you're online marketing, people like to do what? Look for leads, look for ways to get traffic. Even same thing if you're working building a business offline. What's the main thing? Get more people to see your opportunity. So it's almost no different from saying getting leads, as far as get more eyeballs as far as what it is that you're looking for. So that's something just to keep in mind as well too. And when you're being consistent, again, going back to what Aaron already shared too, you're building a rapport. You might not have the comments or likes or shares immediately, but if you're consistent with it, trust me, you got the eyeballs going on, because people are always going to be like, okay, what in the world is this person doing? And if you do something like this and you want to set up a Facebook group, and then well, not this. If you set up a Facebook group, let's say if you've been in groups, sometimes you see the little part where it says to check and it says seen by. People are just lookers. A lot of people are lookers too. Well, that's the thing too. Even though you're consistent with it too, some groups, not all groups, depends how it's set up. You're still getting those eyeballs, even though they're not saying anything or liking anything or whatever, because of if they're paying attention to what you're doing. That's how you're also building that rapport with people. It's funny because a few days ago I saw a post on Facebook, and this is coming from somebody that was on offline network marketing, who said, people want to build a business online, but you got to be able to build a business face to face. In today's times, that's not really the case. It's going back to what we just shared a few moments ago, building up rapport. It's something that people want to go back to, as far as like, okay, I like this content this person's sharing, or oh, this person has something new they're sharing. Let me go and see what he or she's posted. You already got the interest too. You got that curiosity. And again, if you're going to do something with videos, something to break state. Maybe the type of background that you're in. Maybe you might have kids or whatever, and hopping around over the place, and maybe you have a pet or whatever. Something to just break state. Not saying you have to have that in the background, but just whatever to break state, and then grab your viewers' attention, and then share that value. Give them exactly what they're looking for. We're going back to what we just said as far as being a problem solver. So that's just one I wanted to share just real quick. If anybody else has anything else to share, come on out.
Neil, did you want to go, or I can say something? Social media is a platform, or all the platforms, like Andre and Aaron were saying, that you have to choose, what you like to connect with your audience best, and then share the value, whatever value that you have to present there. Because again, in order to get sales for your company, people need to know, like, and trust you. So maybe pick like 3 different things that you can do well on there. They always say one, but they all intertwine and they interlink, because you can use an app, or it's called, I think, If That Then This. And when you link your comments or your posts, you can have a recipe. Like if you post something, you can go to all of those other platforms. Or like I know when I post on my Facebook, it's automatically connected with Twitter, because I know that, I think we did have a subject talking about Twitter last week and how to use that in our businesses online. I know that I had never done Twitter. I had an account and everything, but I never used it. and then until it really hooked up with Periscope, which is a live social media platform where you can get on there and you can do live hangouts on that, and you can get followers immediately, people from all across the world that could connect with you. And then whenever time I like I said, I post on Facebook, that automatically goes to my Twitter. So and YouTube, if I do a YouTube link and I upload that, then that if I post that on Facebook, and again, it's connected to Twitter, so I have all three platforms that people could see me on. They could get to know, like, and trust me if they really wanted to connect with me. So that's what I had to say for right now. Neil?
Hey guys, sorry about that. I don't know. I couldn't quite get my button to unmute, so I was not able to speak. But eventually, it's managed to get fixed. But the most important thing for me when it comes to social media, well, there's two things, and it's already been touched upon earlier. The first thing is rapport. That is absolutely key, regardless of what channel you're using, whether you're using YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Twitter. There is so many different marketing platforms now. It's unbelievable. So you need to build rapport with people. That is absolutely key. It's no point in, Facebook is the worst. I won't say the worst. It's not Facebook. It's how people use Facebook is the problem. Because I've had it today. Where I've literally opened my Facebook and I've got so many people who are sending me messages, and they're not even trying to build rapport with me. They're just literally talking to me straight away, and I've got a link straight away in my in my message, and I've never spoken to this person before, and that's the first thing that's their opening message to me. Is literally just like, hey, I thought you'd like to connect with it. Was on network marketing. Check out my link here, and they've literally just plastered it there. I don't know if that's a link to their blog, maybe a squeeze page, maybe it's even a sales page. I don't know. But regardless of what it is, I've never spoken to this person. I'm never going to speak to this person because I now see that is basically all they're trying to do. They're just trying to slam me in with their pitch, whatever it is. I'm never going to click on that link, and your people are going to be exactly the same. If they see a link from you without any kind of instruction to say, yeah, okay, I'm open to checking it out, or I'm curious, I'm interested, they're never going to open it again. That is a fact. And if, like I say, if you're putting a link out there to them, you could have the best interest in the world of giving them something of true value, but they don't know what that is. And 90% of people that put links out there, they're to sales pages or something around that, and that is people have a misconception. Aaron mentioned a little bit earlier about the fact that 99% of people won't buy on the first encounter that they have with your product or whatever it is that you're selling. And the reason for that is because there's so many people out there that are trying to sell stuff that don't have any true value. So it's up to us as marketers now to show that value up front before we actually try to make the sale. They need to see the value in you as a person more than the actual product. The product, in it more so, especially with what we do, is you, not the actual product itself. People buy you and not the actual product. And you can have the best products in the world, it can be absolutely amazing, but if they don't resonate with your message, if they don't resonate with you, if they don't like you as a marketer because you're not showing up, you're not being consistent, you're not providing them with any value, they're not going to see the true potential in the product. Whereas you could have someone who is absolutely a standing marketer. You think of everyone's got one person who we notice. We get a message from this person, we open it regardless. It's just an unconscious thing. We receive a message from them. I mean, I've got a few, to be honest. Ray Higdon's definitely one. I'm sure quite a few people here that actually have that same opinion. I've got David Wood, company founder, and there are quite a few other people as well. But they're two straight off the bat. Anytime I receive a message from them, I know it's going to be something absolutely golden. So I'm going to open it. I'm going to check out the message, and it's just an unconscious thing because I know that these people know what they're talking about. They know how to do what they do, and they know how to teach, and they know how to lead. And it's up to you to show that kind of value and build that kind of response with your audience. And if you're not doing that, regardless of what product you're selling, regardless of how great it is, how cheap it is, what it can do for them, they're not going to see the true value in it. they need to see the value up front, and you need to be talking about that in your blog post, on your videos, whatever it is you're doing. You need to be talking about the kind of problems that they're facing in their niche, whatever niche you're in. So find the most common problems that people have, and point your content around that. And ideally, you want to try and focus that towards to link it in with your actual product as well. So if your product, like ours, is kind of around marketing itself, then you could talk about common problems that people have in the marketplace. In our niche, the common problems is traffic and leads. So if you talk about common strategies about how to generate leads every single day, or a strategy on how to generate more sales, how to create more engagement, things like that, you could talk about that, and then you're just pointing them to a capture page to get more information from you. And again, you're then trying to build with that message. Don't try to make the sale straight away, and that's what most people do. They try straight away, throw their link at them, expecting people to buy, and people at first, I have no doubt that it used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. And because times have changed, people have got so used to seeing that, and they don't see the true value in it. They don't respond to it anymore, and you just need to find a different way of working it. And the way of doing that nowadays is providing that value up front, showing your worth up front. And the more you do that, again, regardless of what the product is, people see the value in you as a marketer, not the actual product. It doesn't matter how good the product is. The product, all right, the product should always be good, granted, but the more the value comes from you. If you're providing absolute amazing content, people are going to see that in the product. So when you come around and say, this is what products I've got for you, because of how you've been as a marketer without selling them anything, the videos you're creating, the blog posts you're creating, everything like that, people are just going to automatically know that the content they're going to expect from the product that they're going to buy is going to be equally as good, if not better, because of the value you've already provided up front. And that's the kind of message that people are seeing. So if you're just throwing a link at them, or just expecting them to buy with a little upfront value or connection or anything like that, it's just not going to work nowadays, because it doesn't work. Those times have gone. And like I say, this is not to say that it doesn't work. As Aaron already mentioned, there are still people that may buy, but they are so few and far between. It's not something you're going to be able to expect to make a consistent income from. So, when it comes to providing value, that's something you need to do up front. You can't have that scarcity mindset of thinking, get in with me now and I'll provide you the value later. Again, that's something that used to work, but those times were a couple of years ago. Those don't work anymore. You need to provide the value up front. So, first things first, you need to provide value. Second thing is you need to be consistent. If you're not on Facebook every single day, if you're not on Twitter every single day, if you LinkedIn, whatever channel it is you're on, if you're not there every single day providing the value, you're going to get drowned out by so many people. I mean, Facebook has 2 billion people, probably even more so now. So there are so many people out there that are wanting to take your place. So if you're not out there getting in front of people, showing your content, showing your worth, somebody else is going to take that place very, very, very quickly. If you think your email inbox, how many emails do you think the average person receives on a daily basis? And if you're not providing the value and you're not emailing them every single day, then they're just going to see somebody else's email, and they're going to very quickly forget about you unless you make an impact on them. And that comes back to the previous point of just resonating with them and providing the value up front. If you're not providing the value up front, you're not sticking here. If you're not sticking here, they're going to quickly forget about you if you're not getting in their face. Those two go hand in hand. You need to provide the value. You need to be consistent. And if you don't do that, it just won't work. It really won't. So you need to be doing whatever it is that you need to do. I would honestly advise videos. Videos are definitely the thing that you need to do, and that is in today's world. Everybody does videos. If you want to build a resonance with your market, you need to do videos every single day. And like I say, you can stick them up on YouTube, you can stick them up on Facebook. I think Twitter does actually accept videos, but I don't think it's anything quite the length of what you can expect on Facebook. So, it's kind of different, but you can, if you want, test it out, see if you can get a bit of resonance from it, because I think you are allowed up to about 15 to 30 seconds. So you perhaps got a bit of time to make a bit of an impact and introduce yourself, or whatever it is you want to do. So you might be able to do that. But like I say, videos are an absolute must. So you know, you need to find a way of bringing it in. And the best thing about videos is, if you don't want to be in front of the video, not something I would encourage, because ultimately, if you're trying to build an audience, they need to resonate with you as a person rather than anybody who's, you know, anybody you might say, for example, want to hire someone because that you don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. But I'm telling you now, from actual experience, I know what it feels like to feel uncomfortable in front of videos. But you just have to get past that, whatever it is that's holding you back, and you just need to find a way of doing it. And it just takes, in my case, it did take quite a few videos, but I would say if you did it consistently for about 2-3 weeks, eventually that would just become natural, because you'll get so used to doing it every single day. Then again, come back to the consistency. You'll get so used to doing it every single day that it'll just become normal. And that's the point. It's just, first off, it feels a bit uncomfortable. It always does, regardless of what you do. You know, how many times have you started a new job and it just feels a little bit weird because it's not what you're used to doing? But soon enough, you forget about it, you get into your stride, and lo and behold, you eventually sit there and think, hang on a minute, I don't know what I was worried about. Or, you know, it actually feels weird not to do it. You know, it's all about routines. We all get into a routine, and regardless of what it is, eventually you will get used to doing that. So, you know, just do it. It will feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. It's a little bit pushing your comfort zone, but once you do it, and you do it consistently enough, you will forget all about it. And I'm telling you now, that'll have the biggest impact on your market. So just get a video, throw some content out there. 2-3, I'd say 3 to 4 minute videos are the best, and the most absorbed videos that get a resonation on Facebook and YouTube. So 3 to 4 minute videos. Just introduce yourself. You know, common perhaps question, what you want to talk about. Throw the content out there, and then give them a little bit of a call to action, something to grab them and pull them in, and then you've got a subscriber. You know, or you could send them across to your blog. Whatever it is you want to do. If you've got nothing, if you don't want to capture the lead, I really wouldn't encourage that, to be honest. I'd always try and capture the lead. But if you want to send them across to your blog, or maybe you've got a channel that you're trying to promote. If you've got a YouTube channel, you can always send them across to your YouTube channel. There's a lot of things that you can do, but you've got to give them a call to action. You've got to give them some way of them coming back to where it is, your home base. So if you've got a blog, your blog. If you want to capture them as a lead, something I would highly recommend, send them to your capture page. If you've got a YouTube channel that you're promoting, send them across to your YouTube channel. Whatever it is that you're doing, but you've got to for me, you've got to incorporate video. Video is an absolute must, and you know, I'm sure every single one of these guys on here will tell you about, you know, how powerful videos are, because they all do them. Everybody does them. If you want to make an impact, you need to be doing videos. So I've pretty much done with what I want to say for now. So I'll send it across to anybody who wants to take over.
Okay, I'll jump in here on the topic of videos, because I definitely started out on video about a little over a year ago is when I was first starting out doing videos, and I was absolutely terrified to put myself out there on videos. Matter of fact, there's several videos that I recorded that I've never put out there because I didn't think they were good enough, and it's kind of funny to go back and watch some of them now, because I remember exactly what I was thinking and feeling at the time I was shooting those videos. And even some of the ones that didn't turn out so bad, like last year, I went to an event in Nashville, and we're about to go to the same place here in April for another event. Same exact place, so it'll be kind of cool to revisit where I was shooting some of my first videos and just compare them side by side. And so like that'll be really cool, because I remember how I felt when I was shooting those videos, and I knew that it was something I needed to just do and do over and over and over again until I got to where I felt comfortable enough to do it. And now it's not a big deal to do. I'm like, it's something that I do on the fly now, or you know, I'll plan out different videos depending on the content I'm putting out and what platform I'm getting it on and what audience. But it's just something that here's a really good reason to do video. Okay, most people they get that same feeling, like what Neil was talking about, what I'm talking about. They don't want to do video. They're afraid. Okay, so if you're going to be like everybody else, don't do video. If you really want to set yourself apart, do video. there's not that many people in comparison to the people not doing it. That there's very few that do video in comparison to those that are not, and so take advantage of that. Go out there, be yourself, because there's going to be people on there that are shy, or they're introverted, or they think they don't sound good on camera, or they think they don't look good on camera. They're insecure about, you know, all these different things. But that's the cool thing about it, is you're going to resonate with all those people that feel the exact same way you do. And that's, I can't describe what video has done for me, because it's just, it's really helped me to grow, you know, as a business professional, like an online business professional, as well as just personally. Like, it's helped me get myself in front of people and not be afraid to speak my mind and talk to people without really caring so much, you know, what people are thinking, because really it was all in my mind, really. More of it was in my mind than what was actual reality. So don't let the thoughts in your mind keep you from doing it. And if you sit there long enough and not do it and think about it too much, then you're going to eventually find reasons to talk yourself out of it. So you just gotta do it. Just take action and do it, and react to whatever happens because of it later. And I guarantee you that once you start doing it, you're not going to get those bad reactions you think you're going to get. You're actually going to get people that are going to want to work with you, or they're gonna see your video and be like, man, I totally relate. I can resonate with you. I've had people that are not even on my team that I never sponsored or met, and they'll just start messaging me, hey, I really like your videos, or, you know, what you said here, you know, really resonated with me. And people are watching, and I've mentioned this multiple times, but there's people watching that you don't even know about, that are out there, and they're following you, and the impact that you have on them is going to show once, you know, over time. They'll come back, and they'll start to really get it, and they'll start to maybe even start buying from you, because they've seen you do these videos and put out good, valuable content day in and day out. So even when you have your bad days, just get out there, do it, get it over with, and you'll feel a lot better. You'll be able to enjoy the rest of your day. I do a lot of my videos first thing in the morning, and it's a good habit to get into. And then once you get in the habit of it, it doesn't even seem like there's really a whole lot of effort that you're having to put into it. So that's my thoughts on video, and I know Andre is really good with video, and the other different social media platforms that involve video, like Blab and Periscope and YouTube, things like that. So I'll turn it over to him for the topic of video.
Well, I was going to throw it over to Patricia, because she's had a lot more effect, as a lot more better effect than I have on videos. I will say one thing too, and it's no different from what Aaron just mentioned, and we already mentioned earlier too, where people are watching you, and you know, as a testament for doing videos. And I know Aaron, you, and Patricia, and Neil, you as well, we can all attest to this as well. I literally have had people from other social media platforms follow me to, for example, like Facebook or Twitter, you know, because of you know, the content, and not just so much videos. I know we kind of put strongly on videos too, but I mean, yes, it does help you stick out more so. And I'll mention that here in just a few moments. But going back to what I just shared, as far as I kid you not, on Google Plus, I like to share a lot of my blog posts on there as well. I had somebody who was paying attention on Google Plus and found me just recently, like 2-3 weeks ago, on Facebook. And then, you know, if you pay attention, I'll give you a perfect example right here. Facebook, you know, like we mentioned earlier, like, you know, let people know as far as they, you know, like to have fun or just hang out. Like I went to the movies earlier today. But if you pay attention to some of the quotes that I post, and this is because of a lot of the books I like to read too as well, you notice something that's sticking out. I'm just going to scroll down slowly. Notice something sticking out. Somebody's posting something too after what I'm putting down too. This is the person I just mentioned, who followed me from Google Plus to Facebook because of the content I was putting on Facebook. So this comes to show you never know who's paying attention to you. You know what I mean? You never know who's actually watching you. and now he's commenting more so on just some of the quotes and something that really sticks out to me when I'm reading, or maybe if this is an audio I listen to, I might just stick out to. I'm like, man, I got to go share that as well. And because we mentioned personal development earlier as well too this evening, because I mean there's something too, and kind of going to add on to what Aaron also add as far as make sure you're in the right state as far as putting that type of energy in your content. And that's something I wanted to mention earlier because if you're having a rough day too, just kind of go somewhere to clear your mind. I know Neil's mentioned before. It's like, go somewhere, take a walk or whatever, clear your mind to, and then put that energy, that positive energy out to the content you got to share. Would it be email, again, blog post, video, whatever, so you're not kind of cluttered too, because it will come out too if you're doing videos or if you are posting your content. It will come out in that sense. Now going back to what we was talking about as far as the videos too, the thing that also too what sticks out with doing videos, like perfect example, Periscope and Blab, they're part of the Twitter family. They're the new kids on the block as far as using those social media platforms. But again, the opportunity as far as using them is through the roof because there are not that many people using both those tools, especially if you're in a home-based business profession. And these guys have heard me go rant and rage about this all the time. Like, I don't understand how in the world you're in a home-based business and you don't want more eyeballs to what you do. Because again, what you just mentioned, what we mentioned earlier, it's not about the company, the name of the product, or whatever it is. Too, they can forget about that, but they are going to follow you, whoever it is. So that's the main thing too, as far as get yourself out there. Blab's a good way, especially for those in the offline home-based business. You're talking to somebody right there live, which I think is so cool. And then they can also have other viewers too to see what in the world you're talking about as well. I know Patricia, we've been on there so many times too, and it's funny because again, going back to, I want to have her come out here in a few moments because she has a lot more better following. And then all of a sudden, we can get on a Blab just like that, and she'll have probably about 10 people just pop in the room, just like, just kind of curious as far as what she's doing. Or maybe she'll hop on a Periscope, even though Periscope's just kind of your own reality show via your cell phone, and you can just go and talk and just give out information and share it too. And then for those that have a blog, hint, you go to catch.me, and then you share that same video and post it on your blog post, which I love to do as well too, because it's kind of quicker. I know Aaron and I, we were talking about this last week as well. So I mean, there's just different ways to get your content out there. And again, if you're paying attention to what we're sharing with you guys this evening, you'll be able to realize, okay, maybe I should think about that. Again, that's not have to be your main marketing strategy. There's something to throw out there. Neil, remember this a few months ago, we had somebody hop on and join us because we're on the Blab. We're going to go on a tangent for I don't know how long as far as people doing the don'ts when marketing a business. And we had somebody like, man, I just love the value that you're sharing. I just already signed up or whatever. And we were like, huh? we thought it was kidding, but again, he was serious again. See, I can disclose her. But we were just going a ranting and raging as far as like, why are people not using these tools, and why are people doing these same dumb stuff on marketing when it's not working? And then this is funny thing too. This person does his own information. He makes his own information products. He's like, yeah, I did a video and I got more sales from the video than I did from other marketing strategy. Really? Not saying that's the all end all, but I'm just saying get yourself out there more so. This person had been doing email marketing for, my goodness, I think over 12 years. I'm not saying again that's have to be your main strategy, but people like to see, the face or expressions or whatever what you do in a video. So hint. That's what we want this to mention. Again, that's have to be your main strategy. Again, income disclosure, because the results are not typical, but they do vary and they are possible. So that's what I want to just come across too, as far as it's all right to maybe have a video every now and then to just let people know, okay, this person's a real person. He's not just behind the camera, just sharing post pictures or whatever in content. So that's what I wanted to share about
and
that.
Guess what, guys? Whoever's watching this, it's free. Do people realize how much? Look at you. The Super Bowl was just last month, right? How much budget did each of those companies put aside to do a commercial? They had to hire actors. They had to have a storyboard for the commercial. you know, for the cameras to follow, to write out the story and all this. And I'm not saying that, you know, that's a bad thing, because that's how they've been doing things for centuries, you know, the commercials. But we have a free platform, Blab, Twitter. Well, not Twitter. That's video. Well, those are all the social media platforms are free, but for the video ones, Blab, Periscope, Twitter, Vimeo, Snapchat, all of those. I'm not on Snapchat, but you know, those are free platforms, and we don't have to pay a dime. So you don't have to spend $1 million just to get your little mini personal commercial out there. So, and then again, don't make it so rigid. Don't make it like a commercial. People want to see you. You know, they want to see you in your environment, you know, at the beach if that's what you like, skiing, you know, with your kids, with your grandchildren, with your business partners, because when we go to events, which is coming up shortly, here in April, and we get the chance to see each other in Nashville again, and if you join and click the link below, you can join us as well. But the thing is that these platforms are free, they're wonderful, and if you're afraid, I know I have so many people. I have a business partner right now who is a teammate, and she has been so shy. She says, oh, I have to, you know, I've got to do my hair, I have to lose weight, I have to get my teeth fixed, I have to do whatever. That's maybe, some of it might be true, but I know somebody who is on, Andre, you might know her, and her name is Cricket Fox. And she comes over there, she's an older woman, she's got her hair all gray, she is got her teeth missing, she has a following. She follow, I think it's Alex Kahn, mentions her, and who else is it? Joanne Pham mentions her, and there's someone else I forget. But every time, you know, she comes on, they mention her name. So she's not afraid. She's a knitter. She does knitting. She promotes that. She's a sports fan. So she is, like I said, she's overweight, got gray hair, teeth missing. What else do you want? And I remember when she was on Periscope, I thought, well, should I watch her? I saw her still, you know, first when you're on there, they show a still picture of her. And I said, well, she's not glamorous at all. But I know that I'm not a prejudiced person. So I want to see why, if she's that brave to get on and do her thing, what is she promoting? So, you know, I get on there and I heart her up. I watch her stuff. And if a person like that is willing to, like I said, get on and put themselves out there, how much more so should you do the same thing? Now, we're all imperfect, no matter what. We think that you have to look like a glamour star. You know, I wear glasses, darn it. You know, and sometimes you guys can come see me. I mean, I literally ran out of the shower with my hair all, you know, all over the place, and I hop on our hangouts here on Friday. You know, being consistent, too, with what you're doing on social media. You know, if you're going to be doing videos, let's do it consistently so that people, I try to do a video once or twice a week to put it up on Facebook. And when I do, I get a lot of, you know, hits on it. I used to get like 1 like, 2 likes. Now I look back at my videos and I've had over 100, 200, sometimes 300, you know, hits. Or likes rather, or views, I should say, on my videos. I wish what Facebook would do is track it so we would know exactly who is liking our videos. I hate that, you know, where you don't know who's watching. So like you guys said, somebody is watching me. I don't know who, but of course when they hit like and then or they comment, I know who they are. But there's somebody watching me. Why? And in order to have the views being recorded, they have to watch the whole video. And I do, once again, I do try to make them, you know, what is it, under 2 minutes, so that they can watch the whole thing. But even when they are longer, people are watching them, and people are following me. So, you know, don't feel that you don't want to not do a video, get on there and do the video because somebody is watching. Uh-oh. You know, do I have an echo, guys?
I have an echo, yeah.
Uh-oh. I hope it's not me. I hope it's not me.
It is your voice.
Yeah, it's my voice, huh? I think, okay, I'm going to stop something.
No, it don't matter. It was not. It was faint, so it's.
Okay. Yeah, I had our thing running in the background. I just wanted to keep up. I had put it on mute, so I hope you guys can't hear it anymore. But yeah, that's the thing. We really, really, really have to get ourselves out there if we're marketers. And I don't know how people have done it in the past without making their little mini commercials of who they are and what they do promote. And again, attract your avatar. It's the best way that you could do so. As well as have, when you do that video, take the link and put it on your blog.
Well, I just want to add, this is just further to what Andre was saying just a moment ago, and this was when we was on Blab. And you know, one of the great things about video, and it's certainly something that you can't have on a blog or anything like that. So, sorry, when I say on a blog, I mean in your written text, and that is your personality. Because with the way people read it, often enough people can read something, and I'm sure we've all had this where someone reads something, and often enough it gets interpreted a lot different as to how it's actually meant. And that is because that person's in a completely different zone up here than what you are. And that's the reason why sometimes written text can often get misconstrued. Whereas a video, they can see you, they can see your hand gesture, they can hear the tone in your voice, they can hear everything. I mean, you can hear sarcasm in there. So if you try to say something in a sarcastic way, if you write it down, or if you say it, obviously when you say it, people can hear it, people can sense it. Whereas when you write it down, people can't tell. You can't give off a sarcastic tone inside written text. It's at least not very easily anyway. So it's always easier to get what you're trying to say misinterpreted than when you do it on video, which is why it's better to do things on video, because that's the other thing as well. It's like now we've got us four, we're all on completely separate time zones. You know, it was when we started this hangout, it was 11 p.m. my time, it was 3 p.m. Patricia's time, it was 5 p.m. Andre's time, and I believe it was 4 p.m. Aaron's time. So we got 4 completely separate time zones, but we're all here, and I feel like these guys are we're all sat in the same room, yet we're on 4 completely different time zones. And this is the beautiful thing about videos, because you almost feel like you're in a one-to-one engagement with them. And I don't know if you've been to any events. I've been to, and every single one of these people who send out videos, you know, I met Aaron one of the first times last year, but I'd seen quite a few of his videos prior to doing this. Now, we'd had a conversation online, but when I first met him in person, you already knew so much about this person, and yet this is the first time I'm ever meeting them. And that's the beautiful thing about video, because you get to see them as a person, you get to see their personality, and you get to know more about them as a person. And this is another thing about videos as well, because I believe this is the one thing that holds people back, and that is not wanting to be yourself, being afraid to express your opinion. Like Andre was talking about earlier, you know, we just went off on a rant talking about things that we didn't like, and I think mostly we were talking about Facebook, about these problems that we see about Facebook, where people just slamming you constantly with all the links and trying to get you every which way they can to try and get you to buy their products without building any resonation with you at all, without building any kind of rapport with you at all. So it's like the best way to sell someone without talking to them full stop. And you know, it doesn't work. So we went off on a massive rant, and this person came on. I think, if I remember rightly, his name's Ken. You know, he came on after hearing me and Andre go you know, jumping back and forth some ideas, and obviously talking about what we didn't like about Facebook, and that was one thing that came up. But because we started expressing ourselves and started talking about things we didn't like, you know, this is the thing. Most people think that I can't share that because, you know, some people might not like it. Not everyone's going to like your message. You know, not every 100% of the people that see your video is going to resonate with the same message, because we're all different people. But that doesn't mean to say that what you're saying is wrong. What I would encourage you to do though, because this is something that I think pretty much everyone shares, when you're talking about religion, to me is something you need to really be staying clear of, because when you start talking about religion, that's when you start getting a lot of resistance. So that's where, if you're talking about religion, I know Patricia, she's a sorry, do you know what? I had it and then it's completely gone. I do apologise.
Yeah, I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
Sorry, yeah, that's it. So yeah, Patricia's a Jehovah's Witness. So she'll talk about that when she's within her messages, and that's completely fine because that's the person she is. But when you start talking about politics, you need to be careful about what message you're portraying. The way Patricia does it is absolutely perfect because she's talking about her religion and the kind of the what she does. That is, but when you go out there and you start talking about the things you don't like about a religion, or oh, I've just seen this and I didn't like it, kind of thing, you're kind of asking for someone, because so many people out there are Christian, some people out there are Muslim. There's so many different faiths out there. It's unbelievable. But if you're there trying to attack a particular religion, you're going to have a lot of resistance because there are so many people out there that follow a certain religion. So that is one thing I would encourage you to stay away from. But like I said, the way Patricia does it, she talks about her faith and she talks about it in a very positive way. So that is absolutely perfect. If you're talking about religion, that is absolutely perfect the way to do it. But as a rule, I always try and encourage people to stay away from religion unless you do it that way. Because for me, you're just opening up a can of worms and you're opening up the likelihood of someone actually coming and not liking your messaging. You're opening yourself up again to the other point that we was making. Don't argue with someone. And that's another way you're just encouraging people to attack you, because it's one of those subjects. It's a very taboo subject. Either you love it or you hate it, and you're always going to find some kind of resistance. So I would always encourage people to not talk so much about religion unless, like I say, unless you do it like Patricia does it. But outside of that, don't be shy to express your opinion. It's just certain taboos. There are certain taboo subjects you really shouldn't really be approaching. But other than that, like what we were talking about, things that we don't like when it comes to Facebook, about people who just blindly send you their link without talking to you, or they do there's certain things that people do, or there could be a whole host of different things that people don't do, that you don't like. That's okay. That's just basically there's certain things you don't like as a person. Certain things I don't like as a person, other people might think, oh, I don't mind, that's not a problem. Certain things that they don't like, it doesn't bother me. We're each individual person, but that's the point. You're expressing your uniqueness, and that's what you're going to find if you find someone who resonates with your message. There's going to be a lot more things that you're going to have in common as well. So when it comes to you sharing your opinions, a lot of things you might have a common ground, and these are the kind of people you're going to attract to you by the way you express yourself. But if you're holding back because you're afraid of somebody not liking you for a particular reason, because you've expressed something, a strong opinion against a particular thing, then I'm just going to say don't be afraid to open up, unless it's something that a lot of people are going to have resistance against, kind of like what I was saying about the religion thing. I'm not saying at all I'm not telling you what to do at all. You do what you feel, but I do see quite a lot. There's a lot of political things going off in America right now. I think with Donald Trump and other people like that. So I do see a lot of threads coming my way with Donald Trump and that. When I see some of the comments, I see no end of people that are loving it, some people that are hating it, and you've got exactly that. You've got so many different people, and you think that's just one post. If you went out there and you start shooting videos, you're very, very quickly going to have a lot of people these kind of people that are going to start interacting on you, and it just won't look very good at all. So again, I'm not trying to say don't do it. I'm just saying personally, I've seen so many people who say if you are trying to build up a following on Facebook, I would encourage you to not talk about.
And then Neil, that's going to be a whole different agenda anyway. So as a network marketer and a business person, we want to attract everyone, but we know there's going to be trolls out there. We have trolls who just won't like you no matter what you do, and then again, that's their problem. We always want to be positive, and that's one thing I like about the company that I'm in, with our leader, David Wood. He has some audios out for the inner circle, part 1 and part 2, and he talks about some of the challenges that he's had throughout being a business owner. But again, we don't want to invite certain things now. For instance, with my following, since I am a Jehovah's Witness, I have a huge following of people that do like my posts because of what I do, and I show my lifestyle on that. And then also I have the business side, but the way I leverage it is, if people are going to be controversial, I leverage it to how they could change their world by being their own entrepreneur as well. So if that's something that they are interested in, if they're not, then they can go their own way. But as business owners, we're not there to argue. We're not there to, change their religion or their political views. What it is to get them to know, like, and trust, so that they can be the light of day, so to speak, and make a business for themselves. And the only way that I know that they could do that and join us is by clicking that green link below and really seeing what we do and how we can help them.
I know we've been talking about content all night. We almost forgot about the home base, that you can have your own home base. Once you do go click the link below and join us, you'll have your own blog and platform, and it's a $17 for a 2-week free trial, as far as having your own platform and your own theme setting too. So for whatever kind of type of content you'd like to share, as far as what we mentioned earlier, be quotes. It can be something for a lifestyle. Maybe you're in another business too. We're just here just to better help enhance your business. Or maybe you have a video that you like to, or videos like to share, put on a blog, and then start sharing away too. And then also, on top of that, as we've been mentioning here, next literally 50-something days from now, we have an event down in Nashville. So we'd love for you to get your event ticket and come join us in Nashville. Because to be honest with you, this is when we kind of met each other again too. We started really get some ideas rolling when we got a chance to meet each other. And at the time, at the hotel we're in, it was just like another world almost in that sense. But again, you only find out once you join us.
It's a gorgeous place to be. I can't wait to go back there and see you guys. But now, did you mention, Andre?
You might as well go ahead and share it with them, Patricia.
No, I was going to say, did you mention the free gifts that we have for them? Did you mention?
Oh yes, for their own mindset as well.
Yeah. See, so we have something fabulous that you can download if you're watching this, and if you're not in business, read it, and it might inspire you to want to get into business and do something for yourself. Because what we try to present on here every week for our audience is the fact that they can have their own online business. And even if they don't have an online business or a brick and mortar business, they can take that business online, social media, and spread it all over. I was just on a hangout today, another hangout, where we know that we talked about Instagram several weeks back, and how you can get so many people in hits on Instagram, which is another free social media platform. And you can use that and get tons of followers. And if you ship things out, in a brick and mortar a store with actual physical products, you can have a worldwide audience. Of course, you could do that on Facebook as well. But yeah, so join us every Friday. We're always here consistently, and we're on all the social media, not all the social media platforms, but I'd say the majority of them. You can find any one of us there.
All right, everyone. As always, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with these fine people here and with all of you every Friday. So yeah, just take whatever advice that you resonated with today, and just start to apply it. Like you'll definitely start to see a change in your marketing and the response you get from it, especially with video. So I want to stress to do video when you can, and just start doing it. Don't think too much about it. Just do it. Be yourself. Pretend you're talking to your best friend. That's what I started to do. And when you pretend that you're talking to one person, it seems to help you get across that message to where somebody else on the other end will feel like you're talking directly to them. So that's just another tip I've got off the top of my head here. So those are my closing thoughts.
Well, with that being, you got something new?
No, I was just going to say, you know, I've got I had no closing thoughts. I pretty much just wanted to say that you know, I'll see you guys next week. But it's been, I know I've learned quite a few things from listening to these guys, and yeah, just definitely all I'll say is take it on board and just run with it. The most important thing is consistency. So you know, just make sure with whatever you do, stick with it and just run with it until successful.
Yeah, with that being said, we'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Till then, see you then.
Bye, guys.